seem that now more than ever, there are people in their 20s living their best life? I'm talking about driving those luxury supercars, buying their watches, going on crazy holidays. Every single time that you open up Instagram and TikTok, you're seeing more and more of this every single day. And that is because there is an absolute shift happening in the world right now. Social media is more prevalent than ever before. I mean, heck, probably even your parents are on all the social media platforms nowadays. And one of the most valuable currencies in today's day and age is attention. And there are people taking advantage of this shift in attention grabbing economy. And there are people in their 20s making more than your favorite athletes or actors with no prior experience. More about that later in this video. Now, if you clicked onto this video, you clearly want to make money online. So pay attention, because in this video, I'm going to teach you exactly how you can start an online business with virtually no startup costs or experience and end up getting paychecks just like these in a matter of weeks. And these are just a couple out of the thousands of people that I've helped generate crazy results. Like Kinnan, for example. He, before, tried dropshipping, found absolutely no success, tried this brand new business model, and he was able to make $4,000 in his first month. Or you could look at somebody like Jack, for example. Again, with no prior experience, he went ahead and dabbled in this new business model, and now he's been doing it for just under a year, and it's up to a £40,000 a month run rate. By this point, he's been able to buy his first car, move into his first apartment, and being able to travel the world in both business and first class, which is really cool. Or somebody like Carl, who just went from working a normal 9-to-5 to making over $20,000 a month with this brand new business model. And at the time of this recording, he's currently traveling all around Asia, which is quite fun to see. And in case we haven't met yet, my name is Marcus Hustle, and this is a business model that I found myself once I found a massive gap in the market. And this is what's made me my first millions, been able to retire my mother and get her a house, been able to get some cool watches, some supercars, and etc. But more importantly, being able to look after my friends and family, and even being able to help my first charity back in Latvia, where I was from. So if you want a business model that you can start as a complete beginner, and you don't want to spend hundreds of hours doing a bunch of cold calls, doing a bunch of emails, or some crazy complicated softwares, or worse off, having to spend thousands on risking whether you do trading or crypto and potentially losing it all, well, this business model is going to be for you, because it's nothing along those lines. I'm going to show you the 4-step blueprint that you will need, that most people in their 20s are currently doing to achieve these sorts of income levels. So in the next 30 minutes, I will show you exactly what you need to do to build this business model for yourself. So I need you to lock in and stay focused. And well, if you can't stay focused for 30 minutes, business is not for you, and enjoy flipping burgers. Somebody needs to do it. So if you stay right till the end of the video, somewhere throughout the duration, I'll show you exactly how you're able to get an extra lesson, which will help you with step number 4 in this video, which most people mess up on and create mistakes with. And guys, everything that I'm about to say in this video, I need you to understand that it's coming from a guy who pioneered the entire business model. We have the most successful business in the entire industry, and throughout the video, I'll be showing you guys proof. I have tons of other videos, even here on my channel, of me live showing you guys our clients' accounts. Not only that, we also have one of the largest and most respected online communities with over 1,000 members of people doing the same business model. So really, there are 3 main reasons on why this business model is most likely perfect for you. 1 is because you don't need any prior experience to get started. Number 2, it's an industry that's really been going viral ever since the lockdowns happened all around the world, so it's fairly recent. And number 3, it's monetizing the current shift, the current attention grabbing shift that's happening right now as you're watching this video. So you get an unfair advantage getting in early. The only requirement is that you're 18 and over. And the truth of the matter is that nowadays you have so many different options of making money online. You've got things like dropshipping, e-commerce, marketing agencies, but look, in business, you always want to be giving yourself the highest and the best chance of success. And these business models that I just mentioned there, they simply have been around for too long, they are too saturated, and they have too much competition. Now, sure, yes, you can definitely make money in those, but it's kind of the equivalent of starting a video game, but choosing the hardest difficulty from day one. I mean, why would you do that? So what happens is people spend far too much time and energy getting their business up and running, which leaves them then frustrated and confused, and they end up losing their savings. Now, when it comes to making money online, there are really only 2 categories that your business model will most likely fall under. It is either a service-based business or you're selling a product. Now, I guess there is a third one, which would be trading. So whether that is crypto, forex, or commodities, but One, it's far too risky, and number two, well, you need quite a lot of money to get started with in the first place, so we're not even going to talk about that option. Well, then you're only left with a service or a product. Now, products are a lot higher barrier to entry. You have far more competition, your profit margins are a lot lower, and in order to make a lot of money, you actually need to sell a lot of units. And that requires a lot of skill when you come to scaling and hiring people, running paid ads, and so on. Also, another thing that nobody really seems to talk about when it comes to a product business is unless you're making the product yourself in your own manufacturer, in your own warehouse, which costs ridiculous amounts of money, that means you're reliant on somebody on the other side of the world, most likely in China, to then ship it. There's 2, 3, 4 companies involved in making sure that your product is actually delivered to the client and they're happy. Which basically what I'm trying to say is that your business is in the hands of others. So as you can imagine, I don't advise people to start a product-based business. So that leaves us with a service-based business. And look, there's a plethora of service-based businesses that you can start, anything from car cleaning to bookkeeping to videography. But look, you're here to make some fucking money. So let's just cut to the chase, because you washing some cars is not going to achieve your dreams. Well, in that instance, you must pick a service that fixes 2 very, very important problems. 1, it saves time, and 2, it makes more money. If your service can do 2 of these things at the same time for other businesses, you're going to make a lot of cash. And you, my friend, are about to learn the exact secret business model that a lot of these people in their 20s are doing to make money to be able to live this crazy lifestyle. Now, if you haven't guessed already, this new business model is called OFM, which stands for OnlyFans Management, which is the exact same business model that Demir used to replace his income from his 9-to-5 job, and is now making well over $15,000 per month. And that's exactly what Ollie and his business partner are doing as well. I actually recently flew out to the UK to go see them in person and congratulate them on a new milestone that they hit, which was $100,000 in a month. Yes, $100,000 a month. Again, there's an entire video of me documenting the entire trip. I went ahead and met them, so you can watch that at another time. Now, I will explain exactly what is OFM and how you can get started and give you actionable steps in this video. But just before that, I need you to understand that this might just be one of the best opportunities in today's day and age to make money online. Now, let's just take it back all the way from step 1, because some of you guys might be watching this and you won't even know what OFM is, or how does the entire business model work, or what even is OnlyFans. You see, the business model is actually very, very simple. OnlyFans initially started off as just a platform where you're able to monetize your following online. And it was initially created for just anybody, really. There were people like painters, piano players, musicians, etc. Anybody who had an online following and wanted to create exclusive content for only their fans who were happy to pay for exclusive content of theirs. So for example, there were artists releasing their early music on platform like OnlyFans, or there were piano artists, there were actual painters, and so on and so on. And the idea was that if you have a large following on perhaps Instagram, and you wanted to try and monetize it, what you would do is you'd bring those fans from Instagram over to OnlyFans. They would subscribe to actually see your feed, and then if they wanted custom, maybe a song for yourself, etc., they would pay in the DMs. But what's quite funny is nowadays when you hear the word OnlyFans, what you think is 18+ rated content, explicit videos and photos of models. And well, yeah, you're absolutely right, because like I said, initially how it started was just anybody from painters to musicians to piano players, etc. But sooner or later, just a normal model, just your average model, maybe perhaps in LA or Miami, wherever, they thought, well, I like creating this explicit content anyway, but I can't put it on Instagram because I'll get banned or my account will get deleted. What about putting it on this platform? And well, OnlyFans just said, yeah, sure, why not? So now they're able to not only post the content that they were creating anyway for free, they were also being able to monetize it, and the word soon spread. And before you know it, majority of the content on OnlyFans was explicit photos and videos of other models. And then there's a little thing that was called a lockdown happened, and that just exploded the OnlyFans scene into the mainstream. Now, in short, what is OnlyFans and how does the platform work is very, very simple. How I'd like you to imagine it is kind of like how Instagram is, but instead of pressing follow on Instagram for free, on OnlyFans, you'd press subscribe, and you'd be paying a subscription fee on a monthly basis to be able to have a closer connection with this creator. And then once you have subscribed, you can then scroll through their feed, the same as an Instagram feed. You could see, a bunch of content, videos, photos, whatever it is. And then really where the money comes in is in the DMs, in the messages. So what you're able to do then, once you have subscribed, you're then able to message this creator and then speak to them on a one-to-one basis. And then from there on, you're able to ask for custom content specifically for what you're looking for. Now, there are hundreds of thousands, matter of fact, there are millions of creators on OnlyFans, and they all struggle with two things. Number one is being able to get more subscribers over to their profile. And well, number two is just simply having enough time in the day to do absolutely everything there is to make sure that you're making as much money as possible on OnlyFans. And that is where you come in. You would simply partner with an OnlyFans creator who's already perhaps making $2,000 a month, but he or she is struggling with scaling it to $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, simply because of those two main issues. One, he or she doesn't understand how to get more subscribers over to the profile. And well, number two, they're very, very busy and they don't have the time to do absolutely everything. So what you will do is you'll fix these two problems, you'll come on board, increase their earnings, and you'll just simply take a percentage cut. Now look, the easiest way to imagine it is if you were to start, for example, a restaurant. If you were to start a restaurant, you wouldn't do everything within that business, right? You wouldn't be doing the online marketing, trying to get bookings in, then booking people in, organizing the table. Once they come in, you valet their car, you bring them over to their table, you then run to the bar, make the drink, bring them that, then you run into the kitchen, you make the food, you bring... That's too much. You wouldn't do all of that. But instead, what you would do is you'd hire people who know exactly what they're doing within each one of these roles, and they do it very, very well. And that fixes two things. Number one, it saves you a lot of time because now you can actually focus on building the restaurant and actually getting more clients and making more money. And well, number two, it helps you serve more people, right? Because if you are just doing it all by yourself, you can only help so many, right? But if you have an entire team, you have an entire business, you're able to reach a larger audience and help more people. Well, in this, it's exactly the same thing. Now, just because the term OnlyFans is a taboo topic, if you will, at the end of the day, it is still a business and it should be ran as a business. A lot of these creators are making millions online and agencies are taking a cut from it. For example, like I shouldn't Blake. Blake listened to what I'm about to teach you in this video. He took action, jumped on a call with us and listened and learned from me and my team. And now he's making over $100,000 per month. Again, this entire interview is on my YouTube channel of me speaking to him. You can see his exact live reactions of everything and it's pretty cool to see. And he's doing all of that at the age of 21 with no prior experience before joining us. And the best part is the supply and demand is heavily in your favor. I mean, think about it for yourself. How many people do you actually know personally that are running a successful OnlyFans management agency? Probably not too many. Now, how many creators can you think of that you've seen in the last 3-4 months online? OnlyFans models promoting their link, whether it's on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, wherever. The term OnlyFans is thrown around every single day. So what we do is pretty simple. Number one, we partner with an OnlyFans creator. Number two, we outsource the chatting and the marketing to a team of professionals. Number three, we manage the entire team and make sure the client is happy and getting the results that they deserve. And then number four, make anywhere from $1,000 to $10,000 a month in the early stages. Now, Bo is a perfect example. He made over $1,000 in 1 hour just by chilling on the beach, but that's simply because he put in the hard work, he built the systems, he hired the right people, so therefore the business is running an autopilot in the background for him whilst he was just sipping a cocktail at the beach. And that's why this is by far one of the best business models to get started with, as long as you're 18 and over, because you don't need prior experience in sales, outreach, building crazy websites, marketing, none of this crazy stuff. Or worse off, having to risk a lot of your money in trades or crypto, because who knows, what if you could lose it all? And here is the craziest part that I need you to actually understand. You don't need dozens of clients. You don't need hundreds of clients in order to be making 10 or 20 or 30,000 a month. You can have just one. Let me explain. So remember how I said how the entire thing works is where you partner up with the creator, you help them save time and make more money, and then you take a percentage of what you make total. So in that instance, let's just say you start working with a client who's already making $2,000 a month and you take 50% of that. If you scale her to $10,000, for example, at 50%, you are making $5,000. You scale her to 20,000, you're making $10,000 per month. That is just with one client. Now imagine having just 4 of them. Now the reason why I'm saying this is because in business, typically to make more money, again, with product businesses, you need to sell more things, or with other service-based businesses, you just need more and more and more clients to manage on a monthly basis. But both of these are pretty fucking annoying because in order to sell a lot of products, you're gonna have a lot of issues, maybe perhaps shipping or fulfillment, etc. And then with other typical service-based businesses, once you're dealing with like 50 clients, every single one of them will have different problems every single day. With this business model, like I'm saying here, you can just have a couple and you're already making 20, 30,000 bucks a month. But whoa. Let's just take it slowly, right? Let's just go from step one. And look, just before we actually go into the actual coaching itself of the video, let me just answer one common question that I get online, which is, okay, Marcus, this sounds very fucking good. Matter of fact, it sounds too good to be true. So why are you teaching everybody else this incredible business model and why aren't you doing it all by yourself? Well, it's a pretty simple answer and I kind of just answered it in the point that I was just making there. For us, it doesn't make sense to keep hiring more people, which means more problems having to deal with, having to hire, etc., qualify and train, to then also decrease our profit margins because we're paying for more people, more staff members, to what? Just take on a couple more clients who are making 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 a month, when we have clients ourselves who are making 100 times that. Now let me just give you a super random analogy, but this will be easy for you to understand and kind of imagine if you don't already. So imagine you're running, I don't know, let's just say a window cleaning company, super random, and you have 5 clients, each one of them paying you $10,000 a month each to clean their windows. Must be a lot of windows, but let's just say there's 5 clients, each one of them paying you 10,000. That means you're already making 50,000 a month, right? Then you have, I don't know, let's just say 100 people queued up, but they're only happy to pay you $10 each to clean your windows. In that instance, it doesn't make sense for you to go and clean 100 people's windows for just $10 each when you are making 50 grand from just cleaning 5. You might as well save your time and energy from going and working for those 100 people. Just save your time and energy to just get one more of these that will pay you 10 grand a month. Now, it's a bit of a random analogy, but it's the same thing with this. So instead of window cleaning, imagine you'll replace that with OnlyFans creators, right? So for us, we're making far more money with just a couple of clients that we're managing. It's less problems, way higher profit margins than hiring loads of people, growing the business to then take on every single one of the creators. So let me actually show you how this will work. There are 4 steps. Number 1 is the setup. Number 2 is outreach. Number 3 is scale. And number 4 is delegate. Now, if you do this correctly, you should be able to get your first client within about 2 weeks at a 50% margin. Let's just say they're making $2,000 a month. If within the first month you're able to double their income, with a 50% margin, you've scaled them from $2,000 to now $4,000. You're taking half of that, so half of $4,000 is $2K. So you, my friend, in the first month, I've just made 2,000 bucks. From there on, you take that money, you delegate the work, you move on to the next client, and you rinse and repeat this process until you hit $100,000 a month. But for now, let's not get too ahead of ourselves because I think for sure a lot of you guys watching this, the idea of making $100,000 per month is pretty crazy and perhaps unimaginable for you right now. But when I tell you this, that if I can do it, I'm a guy from Latvia. It's an Eastern European country. I moved to the UK when I was 10 years old with no English. I lived in actual poverty in Latvia. I had no mentor, I had no handout, I had no investor, I had no loan. I literally learned this entire thing all by myself to the point where I'm at now, where I was able to retire my mother, get her a house, buy my first supercar. I got 2 now. I got an RM, I got an apartment, I got a villa. I'm able to travel the world. And not only that, I'm able to donate and sponsor charitable events. So if you just pay attention for the rest of the video, this might just possibly be the best change in your life ever. So let's get into it. So step number 1 is the setup. Now the biggest mistake to avoid here is just spending too much time. Look, it doesn't matter too much about the name or the brand or the logo. It doesn't matter too much. It is important, but it's not the most important thing. And the real issue, the real problem is when people get too caught up in this foundational phase where they're just building, they're just setting everything up, and you're taking too long. My friend, you're here to make money. In order to make money, you're going to have to move on to step 2, which we're going to talk about in just a second. But in order to get there, you must get past this one. Don't spend too long on building up the logo, the brand, etc. Because, I mean, look, you should look at my one. It's literally a red circle and the name is Aura. It took me 5 minutes to come up with that. But apart from the logo and the branding, the things that you should consider looking at setting up is perhaps an Instagram page for your agency and a website. And if you wait till the end of the video, I'll tell you how you can get a website pretty simply made for your agency. And well, look, that's step number 1 done. Pretty simple, right? Now, step number 2 is, of course, the most important one, which is getting your first client, doing the outreach, right? Because with no clients, you're not making any money. Now, there are several different ways of actually doing the outreach and getting your first client. In this video, I'll share with you one of the best ways for, especially for beginner agencies that we teach in our program, but I'll share with you guys on this video. And that is to simply reach out to somebody you already know, or you know of somebody that already knows, right? So maybe perhaps you went to university with somebody, maybe you're currently in a 9-to-5 with somebody who's already doing OF. Right? Reach out to them. Those are going to be easiest clients to go ahead and start working with because you already know, like, and trust each other. You have that trust already built up. So that'll be super simple. Now, if you're watching this and you, for some reason, can't think of anybody who is already on OF, I'm pretty certain that you are one connection away, especially in today's day and age. It's very, very popular. Lots of people are doing it. So you just simply have to reach out to somebody. And if they know of somebody who does OF, ask them to go ahead and connect you as a referral, and you can incentivize them as well. You can perhaps give them a percentage of the total amount that you're going to make for the first month. But step number 2 is the outreach and getting your first client. That is how you should do it when you're just starting out. Reach out to somebody that you already know, or so reach out to somebody that might know somebody and incentivize them to connect you to as a referral. Now, one advice I need you to understand and remember from this video moving forward is I do not advise anybody to start working with a creator who's just starting out or isn't even OF yet, right? So for 2 reasons. Number 1 is because you should never try and convince or sway somebody into starting OnlyFans. It should be their own decision, right? Because it is quite a serious thing that if they want to get into it, they're going to have to go all in, right? That's the first thing. You should never try and convince somebody to get into OnlyFans. And then the second thing is, well, for your own sake, it's going to be a lot easier to work with somebody who's already been on OnlyFans for maybe a couple months, maybe a couple years, right? Simply because they already understand how the platform works. They understand what goes on OnlyFans. They understand the day-to-day activities, that you have to do, which is creating a lot of content for social media and OnlyFans and everything in between. So it just make your life a lot easier to just work with creators who are already on OF. And on top of that as well, I mean, look, if you're going to sign a client who's already on OF, let's just say making $4,000 a month, you sign them at 50%, that's an instant $2,000 a month cash flow added to your monthly income. And now that's exactly what our student Noah done, quite literally. One of his first clients he signed was already making $4,000 a month on OnlyFans, and he signed that contract at 50%. He scaled out to, I believe now, well over $15,000 a month, but just within his first day of signing her, if she was already making $4K a month at 50%, Noah has added an extra $2,000 to his monthly income. So now let me show you a couple of ways on how Noah was actually able to scale this model from 4,000 to 15,000, which leads us on to step number 3, which is scale. So first of all, I need you to understand as well that the biggest margin where the profits come in on OnlyFans are the messages. So I kind of mentioned this previously on the video where you have subscriptions, but then you also have messages. Now in the messages, that's really where the money is made, because understand this. On subscriptions, one subscriber or one fan might just pay $5 a month for the subscription. But in the DMs, he might buy, let's just say, for example, 100 pieces of content in 1 month at $20 each. So these are photos, videos, just as an example, right? So that's a huge difference between just one payment of $5 for the subscription once a month, or 100 different payments of $20 in 1 month of combined total of $2,000. So as you can see, there's a huge margin there. And this is just one subscriber I'm talking about here as this is example. Now imagine there's hundreds, imagine there's thousands, imagine there are tens of thousands of them buying these little bits of content through the DMs every single day, every single week, every single month. So as you can imagine, now all of a sudden everything is starting to make sense on why does this whole business model even work? Why does a model need you and your help? And how and why is there so much money in this new business model? Now, the second way to, of course, scale the income of a creator is to do with the marketing. Now look, don't worry, I know a lot of you guys are just starting out and you might not have a lot of experience with social media marketing, but just hear me out, and this is literally as simple as it. You can just start off with the fundamentals, right? Which is, first of all, just get a schedule, just get a routine of content. Consistency is key. Most creators, if they're by themselves and they don't have a manager, they don't have a routine, they have no plan. They just wake up, maybe they make some content. If they don't feel like it, they won't do it. But that's the whole point of you being their manager. You're meant to keep them in charge, right? You're meant to keep them on a good path, on a good track to actually make a lot more money. So just by you simply creating a plan of how many videos, how many photos every single day, and keeping that creator accountable to make sure that they do it, that in itself will give you an increase in the total you're about to collect per month. Now, once you get really the hang of marketing and that is the fundamentals and you get really good at that, you can start to, of course, look at more advanced strategies of marketing, and you can look at other platforms such as like Reddit. You can look at Twitter marketing. You can look at mass automation like DMs and mass story likes and so on and so on. But again, that is for more advanced, and we'll talk a little bit about that later on in the video as well. So if you're watching this and you want to scale way past $10,000 a month, you're going to want to stay till the end of the video, because we're going to talk about these automated marketing systems that are going to help you scale past that. And lastly, we have number 4, which is Delegate. Now look, have you ever actually sat down and given it much thought on how these big businesses even work, where they have these big fancy offices, they get a bunch of people to come in, sit at their desk, do their work, and they go home, you know? There's so many let's just use an example as a web design agency, right? The guy who owns the company of the web design agency, he doesn't actually sit there on the computer designing all the beautiful websites. He also doesn't sit there and do all the outreach and try and get the clients. You know, all these different aspects, he hires people to come into his office. One person does the designing, one person does the marketing, getting the clients in, one person does the selling, and so on and so on. And that's how it works, right? Now, this is very similar. Now, the only difference is you don't need to go ahead and rent some crazy big office, spending $7,000 a month and getting staff members to drive in just to do the work. Now, you can hire people overseas. You could be hiring smart, hardworking people who are just in other side of the world, who still speak great English. And also, not only that, the currency exchange could be in your favor. So perhaps for you, paying their salary, for you, it might seem really low or cheap. For them, it might be twice the average salary in their country. So that's exactly what you'd be doing. Once you understand how everything works and you tried it yourself, or you just want to outsource it from the get-go, you would be going ahead and hiring people to do a lot of the work for you. That's including the chatting, the marketing, and everything in between. Now, one thing that I need you to understand before you freak out and you think, oh my God, how am I going to be hiring a ton of people, paying all this crazy amount, etc. No. Here's how the business model gets. For all of these staff members, you're paying them a commission of the total that is collected, meaning none of this comes out of your pocket. You only hire people once you actually have a client. Once you have a client, you're already making money because you give the staff members a commission, a cut from what you guys make with the client. Does that make sense? And well, look, if you're wondering as well where and how you're going to be able to hire these contractors or just online staff members, well, the answer is pretty simple. It's just online. You have so many different options, everything from Instagram to Facebook groups to LinkedIn, Upwork, and any job seeking websites as well. It really doesn't get simpler than that. And that's exactly what Isaiah done. He was able to replace his 9-to-5 income with this brand new business model of OFM in less than a month. In less than a month, he started his agency. He made so much cash, he was able to replace his 9-to-5, quit that, and do this full time. So the question really is that you have to ask yourself is, well, how can you get results just like these? And there are so many more. I can't even fit all of them in this one video. Well, you have two options. If you're going to do it by yourself, the only way you're going to learn is by making mistakes. The more mistakes you make, the more discouraged you're going to be, the higher chance of you just giving up and it just not working at all. Because in order for you to progress, if you're going to do it all by yourself, is by simply keep on making mistake after mistake until you finally get it right. And that's just one thing. Then you're going to move on to the next point, mistake, until you finally get it right. And that entire process, it's not fun. And not only that, it's going to take you far longer to reach that success that you have in your mind right now than doing it the right way from day one. And that's why we created Aura Consulting. Now, Aura Consulting is actually a byproduct of my management agency, Aura Management. It's a coaching program where me and my team help people like yourself get started completely from scratch and scale their agency way past $10,000 a month. And that is your second option. It's starting your agency alongside hundreds of success stories and one of the most successful agencies in the industry. Every single one of the results that you've seen so far in today's video has been through our program. Most of them were complete beginners, started with no prior experience, and look now, some of them are making $10, $15, $20, even $100,000 per month. Because when you start your brand new business, not by yourself, but alongside other group of people who are also doing the same thing, and you have experts alongside with you, well, not only are you going to be able to get there a lot faster, but it's going to be a lot more enjoyable. Because you're not in this journey by yourself. Not only you, there's also another 1,000 people who are doing the same thing, including myself. I've been through and I've been where you are exactly right now. And we're all here to support you, answer questions, and point you in the right direction to make sure you find your success. Now, if you have just a few minutes, let's have a look at what's inside the Aura Consulting program, because it's more than just a course. The course is just a small part of it. It's by far the most streamlined, results-driven coaching experience you can have with OFM. Now, there's a reason why we're the industry experts. Look, if you go on YouTube, Google, anywhere online and you search OFM or OnlyFans Management, you'll either see my face or the word Aura Consulting somewhere around there. We've simply been doing it for longer than anybody else. Now, the course itself consists of over 30 lessons. They are very, very simple and easy to follow along, and in the right order, step by step, that as you're watching them, you're able to implement what's being taught and start your agency. In the program, we cover everything you will need to know from A to Z, from a complete beginner to the point where you're making over $10,000 per month. It's set out in 4 neatly organized sections, plus a bonus at the end. Now, part 1 is the setup. We'll get your agency up and off the ground in record speed, making sure that you're able to get your clients as quickly as possible and start earning money online. Here, we will cover everything you need from branding to the website to all of the tools and softwares you'll need to get started. Part 2 is client acquisition. In this part alone, there are 15 lessons. We cover every single possible way how you could go about getting your next client, to the point where you're going to have more clients wanting to work with you than you're physically capable of. So trust me when I say this, getting clients for your agency will not be the difficult part at all. Now, part 3 is an absolute game changer, especially if you're watching this and you're thinking about yourself as somebody who has no experience of marketing and you don't know what you're going to be doing. Part 3 consists of 22 lessons explaining every single possible way on how you're able to increase the earnings on OnlyFans. This part is that much of a game changer that we've actually had top tier agencies already making $50,000, $60,000 a month invest and join a program just specifically for this one part, because of the things that we teach inside it. With this knowledge, there'll be nothing stopping you from being able to scale your agency past $90,000 a month, which is exactly what Rami done, one of our students. Again, there's an entire video on this channel of me interviewing him on exactly how he was able to start, get to where he's at, and his honest thoughts and feedback on the entire program. And part 4 is hiring and outsourcing. Look, at the end of the day, you most likely are watching this because you want to make money online, and that is most likely because you want to have the freedom. The freedom not only to have the financial freedom, but also location and time. It's all good and well making $10,000 a month, but if you can't travel or you can't go and do whatever the hell that is that you want to do there and then, and you're bound to your laptop and you have to work 24/7, well, it's just like another 9 to 5. It's like another employment, but just for your own company. That is not what you want at the end of the day. Now, the goal is actually to build a company that is running in the background, even if you aren't hands-on at the computer. So this is exactly what we're going to teach you in this part. We're going to teach you exactly where to find people, how to qualify them, how to interview them, how to pay them, more importantly, and how to not fuck this up. Because me and my business partner, we learned this the hard way. When we were starting, there was no course like this. We were the first people to do it. So we simply had to learn from ourselves. And trust me when I tell you, this is where the biggest mistakes will happen. Because if you hire the wrong people, that's where your business can absolutely die. If you hire the wrong people, they can mess up the relationship with the client can leave, all of a sudden you're back to zero. So this is super, super important, and you need to know exactly what we teach in this part of the program, and you must follow it step by step. And last but not least, in Aura Consulting 2.0, which by the way is the program that I've just been talking about here. It's the second iteration, 2.0. It's the more up-to-date, the brand new version. In the 2.0 version, we've actually released a bonus part, which is the DFY server. Now, DFY stands for Done For You. And yes, it stands for exactly what you think it stands for. So in here, we provide for you guys and offer so many different marketing methods and systems and tools that you can use for your agency and your clients to get a ton of new subscribers in for the account. Now look, in this short YouTube video, I'm not going to go through and explain every single one of them and how they work, but just to give you a bit of an idea, in here, you can have tools such as mass DM, mass story like, and so on, right? Again, in the program, all of these are explained in full detail. What is it? How does it work? And how you're able to benefit from them. But if you want to just imagine it, have you ever gone on Instagram yourself? Have you ever swiped up in your story and there's been like some hot chick that has liked it? You go into her profile and then she has like 2-3 followers and it's just an OF account. Well, this works at scale, right? So you'll be doing this to millions of accounts every single month. And out of millions of people, a small percentage, but a small percentage of millions of accounts convert. And that is how you're able to get thousands of new subscribers pretty much on autopilot and passively. With such training and services, there's really nothing stopping you from starting and scaling your agency, just the same as Jordan and Clayton done. Again, we have an entire interview up on this channel, a video recorded of them sharing their experience with our coaching program. At the time of that recording, they were just about making $6,000 a month, and now they've scaled that to a lot more. Now, for this to really work, we have gone the extra mile as a coaching program to just provide as much value as possible. So every single lesson, there'll be an attached PDF file that you can download and read through, but there also is as a point of reference that you can go back. So instead of having to watch the entire video on each different section of the program, you're able to just open up the PDF, search the keyword that you want, and you're able to get an answer a lot quicker that way. Not only that, we have also attached our very own contract that we use ourselves to go ahead and sign with the actual creator themselves, because by the way, if you are going to start working with creators, you must have a legally binding online contract that your agency signs and the creator, because at the end of the day, you are dealing with potentially explicit content, and you have to make sure that the client gives you the sign off to say that yes, they are understanding and happy for you to do so. So this very important online legal document that we use ourselves with our own clients, we go ahead and give to you guys, and you can literally download it and upload it and sign it with your online clients. Now, your current situation actually has zero impact on the success of your agency. We have had people from all around the world and all different walks of life that have joined the program and have found massive success. For example, Louis actually joined, and in his first couple of months, he's making $20,000 a month. But not only that, he's also getting models messaging him asking to join with his agency rather than him having to constantly reach out and try and look for new clients. So he has perfected exactly what we taught him, and his agency is getting to the same level as ours. Now, these are just the lessons and tools within the course. Research studies online have found that the actual main driving force for whether a student is successful or not, and this goes both for physical schools, colleges, universities, and online training, is not the content itself, but rather the community that is attached to it. Now, more so how engaging and how engaged the community actually is. That is the main factor that dictates whether the student will be successful or not, which means it doesn't matter how incredible the actual course is and the value inside it, if there is no community attached to it at all, or if it's lackluster and it's pretty dead and no one's really talking to it and it's not engaging at all, the chances of success are dramatically lower. And that is why we have decided to create our own inner circle of agency owners, which at the time of this recording, there are just over 1,000 people, and they're from all around the world building this exact same agency like yourself. This is a perfect place to not only ask questions that get you answers a lot quicker, it's also to network with other people, perhaps even in the same city and the same country as yourself, keep each other accountable, and also just share your wins. And what's also very, very interesting, if you've ever watched any of our student interviews, or perhaps after this video if you wanted to, you're going to see a common pattern that a lot of them, when at the end of their video, I ask them what is one of the best parts of the coaching program in your opinion, most of them say, yes, the course is incredible, there's lots of great value, but for me personally, it's the community. Most of them say that, and that's because we put a lot of effort into it. We as a company, we spend a lot of money on a lot of different staff members and systems to make sure that your experience within the community is top tier. In the community, you'll get students like Manos, who himself, he joined and he scaled his agency to just over $6,000 in his first month. And again, I've done an entire interview with him here on YouTube, and even himself, he said that the community was one of the best parts of the entire investment, and also it kept him accountable and just made the entire process just that bit more enjoyable and fun. And you know what causes most people to not find success when they're buying courses? Well, it's not typically the information that's in the video, it's typically when they have a question that is unanswered, a question that's specifically for them. They need a specific question answered, and well, if there's no support, they feel lost, they feel frustrated, and then all of a sudden they will most likely give up because they think, well, it's too difficult or it doesn't work. With that in mind, that's why we've created every single week 2 group coaching calls. Every single Tuesday and Thursday, you jump on a Zoom call with us, you unmute yourself and you speak to us directly and ask whatever question you have. And not only that, by the way, we've also gone a step further. In the actual Discord community, the private actual group chat that we have, there is also a support ticket system. So for example, just to imagine, if you go to like PayPal, for example, and you wanted to speak to the support chat, typically at the bottom right of the website, there will be a little speech bubble, you click it and you can speak to them, right? The same idea. So if you have a question or a specific problem that you need fixing, you'll click on this button, you'll create a support ticket, which only you and one of our staff members, one of our head coaches can see. The head coach will keep answering your question and trying to solve the problem, and only once you believe the problem is solved or the question is answered, we will then be able to close the ticket and move on. So with all of that being said, let's just quickly go over again what you're going to get in Aura Consulting 2.0. So the first thing is you get full access to the actual course itself. Number 2 is the PDFs, the contracts, and the website itself as well. Number 3 is access to the Done For You server. Number 4 is access to the weekly group coaching calls. We can get all of your questions answered live on a call. Number 5, of course, access to the actual community itself with over 1,000 active engaging members. And number 6, the ticket supporting system. No matter what question you have, we're going to make sure it's answered in time. And this goes for no matter what business you're looking to run. Imagine instead of doing this all by yourself, making slow little mistake by mistake and then learning from it, getting frustrated, etc., etc. Instead, imagine you had a group of over 1,000 people also in the same industry who have already made the mistakes that you are doing and are about to do, and they can help you in the right direction. Not only that, you also have next to you somebody who's running the most successful business in the same industry that you're in, that is teaching you and telling you exactly how to do it the right way. Well, aren't you bound for success? Now, for a high-level coaching program where we teach agencies who are already doing $100,000 a month to help them scale to $150,000, $200,000, maybe even $300,000, we charge $30,000 for that. Now, look, no, I get it. Most of you guys that are watching this are either just starting out or you don't have $30,000 to invest. So that's exactly why we have created Aura Consulting 2.0, which is everything that I've just been talking about in this entire video, specifically for you. This is the program that can help you go just from zero, getting started from absolutely no experience, all the way to $50,000 a month. And now for Aura Consulting 2.0, there are 3 different price points based on what you believe would be best fit for yourself. It starts as cheap as $697. Now, this is a pre-recorded YouTube video, as you can see. This is not live, I can't speak with you, etc. But I would like to speak with you to better assess and determine which one of the 3 packages would be a better fit for yourself. So if you're over the age of 18 and you'd like to start OFM, there will be 2 links down below. One is going to be to my Instagram and the other one is going to be to my WhatsApp. Whichever one you use more frequently, please message me on that platform down below. Whichever one you want, again, whether it's WhatsApp or Instagram, message me the word YouTube in capitals, just so I know that you come from watching this YouTube video. And if you do it right now, I might just even send you an extra video lesson as a bonus to help you get kickstarted with your OFM. So scroll down right now, click the description of this YouTube video and you'll see 2 links, whether it's Instagram or WhatsApp. Go ahead and message me on either one of those links. The same as all of these hundreds of student results that I've been showing you, that's exactly what they've done. They took action, they messaged me, they joined the coaching program, and look where they're at now. And remember what we spoke about at the beginning of the video. The longer you leave it, the more harder it will be for yourself. Number 1, there'll be more competition, therefore making it way harder to actually find success in this. And number 2, you're going to be wasting time and money. If you were to start right now, imagine where you're going to be in 6 months time. Whereas if you start in a year from now, it's going to be a lot more difficult. And again, as we were speaking at the beginning of the video, right now there is a massive shift happening. You must take action right now. You can either be one of these people that's on the sideline just watching everybody else live this crazy lifestyle in their 20s, buying their supercars, helping their parents, living on their own terms, or you can take matter into your own hands and actually finally take action and do something about it. I am a living proof of this entire business model working. I went from a nobody to a somebody, and the entire journey is documented online. Again, I encourage you to check out my Instagram down below. You can see all of my previous Instagram highlights, my posts. You can message me, and hopefully, if you're the right fit, we can jump on a call. So go ahead and click on the link down below. I'll pin it in the comments as well. Message me on either one of those platforms. I look forward to speaking with you and hopefully seeing you inside the program. And also, if you're still watching, make sure you subscribe. Plenty more videos coming soon.